Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with the Saw for Season 2. Of course, I'm here with Dylan today.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to talk about the second episode of Space Force. We're going to talk about the second episode of Muppets Now, the second episode of Transformers Siege, and we're going to talk about the first episode of Star Trek Lower Decks today. So we got a lot to talk.
We're getting a lot going here.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot to talk about.
Wait till the rest of the stuff starts. We're going to have no time to talk at all.
Well, a couple of these shows will be over.
I'm just saying, So
hey,
this week we're going to talk about.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk
about.
about.
Good.
So,
How was it? It was good. Yeah.
Sit back, enjoy the next hour, and
we're going to chew
stay
the
with
fat.
us. So I'm gonna start with Star Trek Lower Decks because it's the new one. So we're gonna start with that right away. Now, if you haven't seen Star Trek Lower Decks, it could be because you're international, and of course, there's no international distribution rights for it. If you're in the U.S., you're watching it on CBS All Access, and if you're watching it in Canada, you're seeing it on CTV Sci-fi. So, it's really only available to North Americans at the moment. Internationally, now. I don't know what you guys might think out there if you were to see it, but it's the same
We're
fella.
putting a picture of it here.
Oh, yes. Yeah. The same person who is the showrunner for Rick and Morty is the same guy who's the showrunner for this Star Trek. And his name's Mike McMahon, I think is what his name is. And anyway, he's the showrunner behind it. This show that he did, if you listen to it when you do watch it, all of the sound effects that you hear are pulled straight from Star Trek The Next Generation or Voyager.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so all the sounds of the doors, the phasers, everything you're hearing is all from original, like from Star Trek.
Give it that original feel.
Yeah, there's a lot of nods in it to different Star Trek things throughout the episode. I mean, they talk about Spock.
Oh yeah, he mentions
came
that.
back to
Do you know
life.
Spot? Kirk?
Yeah.
They mentioned them all, and it was quite cute the way they do that.
They talk about Deanna Troi and her
That's
onesie
right.
jumpsuit.
That's right.
There's all kinds of stuff that they talk about. So anyway, in that sense, I guess I would say it was good. Now, if you're not a fan of really animated comedies, because that is exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it is an animated
exactly.
comedy. It is not your typical 1 hour Star Trek drama that we're used to seeing.
I didn't know it was animated until I started watching it. As soon as it started up, I was like, I'm looking at it going, what the hell? And all of a sudden it was like, it's animated. Oh, okay.
Even the intro is a nod kind of to Voyager with them flying around and through space things and stuff. And not like, because I mean, if you look at Next Generation in the original series, it's just the Enterprise flying through space. But when they did it with Lower Decks, they kind of made it like, well, you can see here the intro behind us. And you can see how they did it with, it flying by and cracking that piece of ice and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it... I mean, it honestly, it doesn't have a half bad cast. Jerry O'Connell, he plays Jack Ransom, and that's the first officer.
That's right.
And Tawny Newsome, we talked about her last week in
That's
Space
right,
Force.
we did, yeah.
Yes, she plays Beckett Mariner in it. I mean, and I'm not going to go through the whole cast, but just a couple of notable people to talk about. And
I need some Viagra.
You can't keep it up today, eh?
I can't keep it up today. I need some Viagra.
So anyway,
pass me that blue pill there, Marky G.
Yeah. So anyway, it's very.
Thank you.
It's very much a comedy. It's got a lot of like they even had those little 4x4s. From Nemesis.
That's right. Yeah.
The Argo.
The
they
Argo.
Had one of those. Well, I mean, the Argo was a specific name of.
I know,
but now,
it was.
The ship is called. It's a California class, is what they call it, and all of the shuttles. And I don't know if you saw this, but all the shuttles in the shuttle bay when they go into the shuttle bay are all named after national parks in California.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that. I'll have to watch it
so,
again.
So, I mean, like, they really put there's a lot of detail. Did you see the girl walking that had the Geordie visor?
Yes, I saw that.
They have a lot of nods. And the guy with the cybernetics.
That's right. He had the...
Those are Borg cybernetics that have been modified by the Vulcans. It gives them a Vulcan ear and gives them
right,
Vulcan
because he
logic
keeps going
sometimes.
logical, he was saying. Yeah, exactly.
So it's there's lots of nods to different things that have been in Star Trek, which I think is really cool. Now, story-wise, what did you think of it story-wise, though?
I'm sitting on the fence, to be honest with you. Like, it didn't jump out at me.
Well, like you said, you didn't even know it was animated, which is funny because I have mentioned that before.
Okay, well, since when do I listen to you?
See? He doesn't fucking pay attention.
No, seriously, I didn't catch. You must have said it.
I know how you can fix that problem.
How?
Well, get yourself a garage.
Okay.
You park the car in it.
Yeah.
You run a hose from the tailpipe to the window.
Here we go again.
Solve that real quick.
This is the second time.
Second time. It's the second time.
Second time. The second time you did that this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, you sidetracked me.
I know. You were talking about what you think of it story-wise.
Right. Thank you. I haven't had enough of this yet. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Oh, hi. Hold it.
Jeez, you really can't keep it up today.
No, today's just one of those days, I guess.
Ladies.
Don't look at me today.
What you see is what you get with him.
That's it. Frunk.
Anyway. As you notice, mine has no problem staying up.
Yeah.
That's all right.
He is a pretzel. But anyway, okay, so the thing is, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, because it's just starting, and it's very high school almost, in a lot of what their attitudes are, because they're just kids anyway, and they're on the lower deck, and they're trying to make their way up the food chain, I guess, for lack of a better term, and I'm not sure yet. I'll reserve my judgment
until you see a couple more episodes?
I see a couple more.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I'm on the fence at this point.
Okay. There were things I liked about it and things I disliked about it, but
I don't hate it, but I don't
love it.
Love it. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm kind of right in the middle there. It's getting. I'm sure if any of you have seen, if you're following anything on YouTube, it's getting a ton of people that are just bashing it, and then
I could see that.
I kind of,
especially the hardcore fans would bash it, I would think.
Well, you know what I think it really boils down to is Star Trek, since it's come back with Discovery and Picard and now this, there is a lot of backlash to it. And...
Call me fussy. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Just lots of backlash to it. And
what are some of the people saying?
People just don't seem to be giving, I think, Star Trek a fair shake. Is it
They're
perfect?
Judging too fast?
Oh, no. Discovery's been on now for 2 seasons. We have a full season of Picard, and now we've got this show starting. And again, people are just, banging on it. It's almost like... You know how they used to say when you were in school, oh, all the cool kids are doing it, so it's they just jump on the bandwagon because all the cool kids are. It's kind of like that attitude. It's like, well, everybody's bashing it, so it's like the cool thing to bash it. But I don't think anybody's really giving it a fair shake in the sense.
Well, that's why I said I'll reserve my judgment. I don't want to jump too fast.
Well, in the sense of like Star Trek Discovery as an example. People like me, as an example, I hated the Klingons. Did not like what they had how they redid the Klingons or whatever. Now, it wasn't as bad in season 2 when they grew their hair in and whatever, but people are they're just... You got to look at Star Trek and think for a minute. First of all, when you look at the original series, a lot of people are looking through rose-colored glasses. The original series of Star Trek is not good.
No, of course it's not. It's a product of its time, though.
Exactly, it is. And I know that there are people out there that are they're immediately going to be like, I'm done. I'm not listening to you no more because you just said the originals. It's not that I don't like the original Star Trek. I do. It's not good, though. Let's be real. It's not good.
No.
Seriously.
It's
far
corny
from good.
and
It is your typical 60s cheesy sci-fi show.
Exactly. Because, like I said, a product of its time.
Exactly. Now, Next Generation came along, and Next Generation was a huge step up. And Next Generation, honestly, was on the same level of qualities that we started to get out of the Star Trek movies, starting with Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Right? It was a whole different level of quality.
That's right. Exactly.
And it was good. Deep Space Nine was good. Voyager was complete garbage. So was Enterprise. And you can't blame those, unfortunately, on being a product of their time. You can blame them on the fact that they had crappy writing. Mm-hmm. They had crappy writing. They didn't pay attention to certain things. Like, and I mean, I
have to agree with you on that.
I get that Star Trek's not perfect, and there are inconsistencies throughout every series. But,
dude, what is perfect?
Exactly. But Voyager, as an example, okay, they started with a ship that was like half the size of the Enterprise D, if that. I mean, it was a small little ship. It only had a crew of 115 people or whatever, and the Enterprise had a crew over 1,000.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And it only had 15 decks, whereas the Enterprise had like 40, I think it was 42 decks. And, you know, it only had one shuttle bay, where the Enterprise had like 2, and had dozens upon dozens of shuttles. The Voyager only had a handful of shuttles. Now, I mean, a typical Intrepid class starship comes equipped with like 3 or 4 shuttles. In the course of Voyager, in all 7 seasons, they blew up something like 17 of them. Where did they get them all? And that's including the one they built and blew up and then built again. Like, you know, they said they started with like 36 photon torpedoes or something. Over the course of the series, they fired 117 or something. You know, so I get that everything has inconsistencies, but when you just blatantly ignore...
I wish my bank account worked like that.
Yeah, I know, me too. But when you blatantly ignore certain things that you establish in your own series, that's when there's problems.
That's right.
And Voyager was rife with them. And so was Enterprise. I mean, with Enterprise, they went, you know, they
just fucked it right up.
Like,
yeah, I know.
It is... Enterprise is a terrible series, and it's unfortunate because Scott Bakula is amazing. The rest of the cast is crap.
Always been a fan of Scott Bakula.
But, I mean, it's just a horrible overall show. And I know there are people out there who are fans of it, and you know what? If you think you can defend it, try. I dare you. Write it in the comments.
Tell us down below, please.
I freaking dare you to try to prove how Enterprise and Voyager were actually decent shows, and I guarantee you, you won't be able to do it.
Not with him, anyway.
Not with anybody that has 2 clues to rub together, because they're garbage shows. Does it mean that I didn't enjoy certain episodes? No, because there are some episodes that are entertaining, but overall, not a good show. Neither of them are. So I don't think people are giving Discovery or Picard or even Lower Decks yet a fair shake. Because they complain about canon and they complain about consistency, and man, you can look back at Next Generation, it's riddled with inconsistencies. You can look back at Deep Space Nine, it's riddled with inconsistencies. The original series is. Voyager is. Enterprise is. Everything that's come before is riddled with inconsistencies. Nothing is perfect, like you said.
No.
And it's just not going to be. But overall, I think Star Trek Lower Decks has potential.
You know what? I'll give it that. It does have potential, which again is why I'm reserving my judgment.
Now, I mean, I get that they're going for laughs, so it's going to be a comedy, so I can accept that level of it. But I also can see that they could probably do some pretty interesting things with it because it's animated. So as an example, we can see things in... Like, one of the things I will... And I'm going to give this to Voyager. One of the things I will give Voyager is they introduced species 8472, which was...
I don't remember that.
Fluidic space that
don't
fought
remember
the Borg.
I'm sorry.
And they look like giant aliens. We'll show a thing of them here.
All right, look there.
They
That's
are
what
right
he's
there.
talking about.
Okay. So, anyway,
I like this better in season 2 that we can do this.
Show that.
It's so much better.
So, what they were is they were completely CGI.
Yep.
Aliens.
Right.
And in Enterprise, we got to see the actual first Tholian, which is another completely and
there you go there. Okay.
Hopefully, if we can find the images to show you, they'll be there. Okay, but they should be there. But the Tholian was another completely.
I don't see it.
I know. Fuck. Where did
it go?
They're magicians.
Yeah.
But this Tholians were completely CG'd. as well in Enterprise because
Okay.
but it started with Voyager. So what I mean by with animated, one of the things now I know there was the original series animated show as well, and they got to show some. It was done by Filmation, which is the same people who did He-Man, Ghostbusters, She-Ra. They did Smurfs. So, they did show some interesting aliens, but that's one of the things. Like, you notice the chief medical officer was this cat Acacian.
Yeah, that's right.
Called.
Yeah.
And so I think what I'm getting at is, and the giant spider thing that kept sucking on him, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll get to see things like that, which is things
It coddled him or something. They said. Yeah.
You won't normally get to see things like that in a regular Star Trek show because it would cost astronomical amounts of money to CG it. Whereas in an animated feature,
you can do it for next to nothing.
They do it for next to nothing.
That's right. Exactly.
So that's what I'm getting at is you're going to get to see things like that you may not
wouldn't normally see in regular,
which can expand the universe of Star Trek. So you got to give
and
it
take it
that
on a whole
credit.
new direction, really.
Yeah, you've got to give it that credit, right? You've got to look at it and go, that's kind of cool because now we could see aliens that we would normally never see because they're just too difficult to CG
Replicate
or
or whatever,
replicate
yeah.
in live action. But in an animated series, you can show them off.
Yeah.
Like even the aliens they were on the planet with, they
Yeah,
were like these
I
little
know.
small purplish
And you couldn't,
creatures.
it's
That
true.
would have been harder to do in
Yeah,
real.
exactly.
Like,
short
but
of getting
animated-
the Oompa Loompas to come in and
Exactly. But I mean, at least in an animated feature, you can show them
That's
easier.
right. Yeah.
So
that's a very valid point. That's
it is,
that's
and
good.
you've got to
know
give
what?
it that.
One for you, Saw.
There you go. You've got to give them that.
See,
because-
sometimes he comes through with it and he thinks it through.
I know, eh? But you've got to give them credit where credit is due, and that is where credit is due because we can see things you would normally get to see. So I just think
Good for you, Saw.
I just think I'm out of beer.
Oh, you're out of
I'm
beer.
out of beer.
Well, you're out. Shit! Did you even taste it?
We won't. Yeah, the carpet exactly. Yeah, thank you.
He spilled half his beer on the carpet.
I was so pissed.
Alcohol abuse.
Somebody
Anyway.
should slap him for doing. You don't do that to good beer.
No, you don't. You don't even do it to shitty beer.
No, shitty beer. I don't care. You can pour it and
You can drop a light, a microphone, a camera, but not the beer.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
know.
See, Marky G
Exactly.
knows where it's at.
All right. So that said, we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna talk about Space Force.
Space Force.
Space
Bing bang, back
Force,
to Space
yeah.
Force.
So
This episode
Was
was
friggin'
funny.
hilarious,
Yes,
wasn't it?
Was. It was.
So if you haven't seen the second episode of Space Force, go watch it. Come back and then see us.
It's
There's your
so
3
good.
seconds of warning.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty funny.
It is good. I enjoyed it. This episode I enjoyed thoroughly.
Yeah. So as you guys know, at the end of the first episode, it ended with the Chinese satellite taking off
That's right.
the reflective panels that power their satellite.
That's right.
And they were trying to figure out how, through the whole episode, how they were going to reattach the panels. And of course, then they realized they have a monkey astronaut and a dog astronaut in space.
In space. Yeah.
At least they think they do.
That's right. Until they turn the cameras on and realize.
And they spend almost their whole time trying to train this monkey
Oh, God.
to reattach the
And
panel.
just the shit that ensues in between all this
Oh.
and all the people throwing their idea. Oh, my God.
My God, it was funny.
It was so good.
The monkey's getting all pissed.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's banging the
He's trying to do you. Oh, man.
where banana, no see banana.
Yeah.
The banana's coming.
Yeah.
Tell him the banana's coming.
Tell him. Yeah.
all
man.
the babies you can eat.
Yeah. God, it was so funny.
It is really funny. No
Yeah.
medal for you, monkey.
Yeah. No medal for that asshole. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really. Watch it. It's funny.
It
well, you
is
got to
really
watch
good.
the first one.
You do, but I
'Cause
mean,
you won't
this
catch.
show,
I mean, it could stand on its own, but you'd understand better if you watched
would,
the
yeah.
first into the second.
and
but
this show really is.
it's
I think
turning
it's-
into something that could be good.
Well, and like I said to you off air, I said because I've watched the whole series already, but
Yeah.
when you get to later in the show, and you see when they finally get to the moon, like oh my God! But just like the stuff they go through as the show progresses is hilarious.
Go see Marky. Go
But
see
it's
Marky.
a pretty good show overall. And I kind of like the
see Mark.
the stupid guy that was standing outside of his door, the guard.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't remember his name,
No,
but
me
but
neither, but-
he comes. That's him right there. He comes back like,
see Mark.
throughout the show, like and he's pretty good. He's pretty funny.
It was good. I have to admit. I
It's-
enjoyed this episode
It's a
thoroughly.
fantastic show.
I had some good laughs.
Yeah, so I think if you guys,
But I do like Steve Carell anyway.
I do too,
You know, so
and you know, I mean, I
he plays the bumbling idiot extremely well.
yeah,
You know,
but you know, in this, he's not really a bumbling idiot.
he's just an idiot completely.
He's kind of like how they give the impression of the rest of the Joint Chiefs. Like
Yeah.
all of them are kind of brain dead.
Yeah.
When you look at, I mean, like look who they have playing them, right?
I am.
So,
It's perfect actually in the Trump era.
it really is.
You know, no, really.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
like,
is.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
It's perfect for the Trump era. It's well done.
Yeah, it
and,
really
you know,
is.
for that, I salute them. It
Yeah,
was
they
perfectly done.
hit the nail on the head.
They
pretty
did.
good. Yeah, it's a really interesting episode, but the whole episode is based around them trying to figure out how to reattach the solar panels to the Epsilon so that they can get power back to it, and you know, just see what kind of defenses does it have? It has a net, and then you can see the net go.
I know. Cook.
I think it doesn't do nothing. It's a little tiny net. Yeah,
Useless.
it's so funny.
It was cute. It was well
It
done.
is pretty good. It's a pretty
So
funny
yeah,
episode.
I'm enjoying it so far,
Yeah, I like it
and
too.
I highly recommend you watch it. Honestly.
Yeah, I do too. If you really watch it, you'll enjoy it. I think, you know, prepare to sit down and laugh and have some fun and just enjoy it for what it is. It's really
And
not.
in this day and age, you can never laugh too much.
That is so true because you know just the
of
way
course, it's
everything
true.
is
I
going.
said it.
Just the way everything is going today. It's pretty crazy, but it's pretty funny.
He didn't even comment on that. Wow, I thought he was going to say something.
And of
Boy.
course, at the end of the episode, we find out the dog got eaten by
That's
the monkey.
right. The dog. Yeah, the
All
monkey
you
ate the
see is the
dog.
tail
Yeah.
of the
That's
dog.
when he says, "No
What-
medal
what-
for that asshole." Yeah.
What is that? What is that? That's
That's
oh god.
that's what's left of the
that's
dog.
what's left of the dog.
Yeah. Oh god, it was funny.
Fuck. Yeah. How hard do you think it'd be to train the dog?
God.
Well, he can hold it in his mouth.
Yeah. He can't hold it with his paws. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Frig, I love it.
yeah. Check it out. Definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You'll laugh. It's a pretty good show. And again, you know, like all the
there you
characters
go.
in it,
Check out Space Force. I think
Yeah.
you'll enjoy it. Bottom line.
all the characters are really good in it.
They are.
They're all, you know, they're all funny.
They're well written.
They're well written.
Yeah.
They're well acted.
Yeah.
Everybody does a great job. You know, like they go through the whole, like when they're trying to come up with ideas, they're going through the whole thing, and everybody
Next
in
card.
everybody in the room is from a different country because they're all part of it. But you know, did we try a bomb?
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Joint Chiefs. Did you try blowing something up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that idea from the beginning. Yeah.
Like, but you know, but everybody in the room is from a different country, and he's like,
Yeah. It's.
like he's all pissed off. Like there's somebody from Canada, there's somebody from Sweden, there's somebody from China, there's some or not
That's
China,
right.
but like
India or whatever,
India,
yeah,
like,
it's just-
everywhere there's
yeah.
somebody from. Like, it's just really funny, and they do a good job of it.
What does it mean when you have an itchy nose?
They
don't
have an
know.
itchy nose.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Itchy knee.
Anyway, itchy palm means you're gonna get money. That's the only one I know.
Oh Christ, please, itch.
Um,
But anyway, that's my basic bottom line. Watch
yeah,
it.
I agree. It's really good. Have a look at it. You won't be disappointed. I mean, I really enjoy it. It's funny overall. It's a good show. Like I said, well written, well acted.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of this like comedic take on. And you got to wonder though, really, how far off of it
Off the mark.
is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you got to wonder, right? Like, what do they do when things like this maybe happen, or if they happen, or you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I'm sure they run into more problems than they let out. But
Oh, I'm sure too, for sure. But yeah. Anyway, check it out. You won't be disappointed. I really enjoyed it. So let's move on now to Muppets Now. Muppets Now. Now I thought episode 2 was better than the first one.
and I said to you off air, same thing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed episode 2 better than I enjoyed the first one.
And like I said to you, now maybe with me personally, it was more just because I mean they used more of my favorite Muppets There was Swedish Chef. There was Pepe. There was Bunsen and Beaker.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And of course, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew had his own little Alexa there, so that was kind of cute.
And Beaker killed it.
Yeah. It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
And of course, Swedish Chef cooking against Danny Trejo, I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
You know, I always liked Danny Trejo, great actor.
The mustache.
Yeah. God, that was
Like
funny.
a fight over the mustaches.
Yeah.
It's a cook-off, not a mustache off.
Mustache off, yeah. That was, yeah. There were some good parts in that, I have to admit. And the game show I thought was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. You know.
Yeah, I really did.
Just the way that he, improvised it all. And you can't do that. God, it was funny.
Did you get 17?
Is this his second appearance in the Muppets?
Was he on the original Muppet Show or
Not
the
the
one?
original one, but was he in Muppets 2015? I believe so.
He's one of the guys at the Russian Siberian prison.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There
yes,
you go.
In Muppets Wanted.
Wanted, that's
Most
right.
Wanted, yeah.
Goulash.
The goulash. Yeah.
There's a goulash.
Goulash, yeah.
No, I'd be
See?
more upset if he was in a goulash.
Yeah. See, Marky G's on the ball today.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Good for you, dude.
It was pretty funny.
Here's to you, Marky G. You're the man.
The game show was funny, like you said. The Bunsen and Beaker was funny. The Swedish Chef, it was far funnier this time. Now, did you notice they had Miss Piggy had Tay on again and Linda Cardellini?
That's right. I noticed that.
Same. So I guess like Linda Cardellini must be like a regular to be in that.
Would have to be in that whole
thing.
That whole Zoom thing that they got going on. So.
Now was kind of surprised that they had. Is it Tay Diggs? Is that his name?
Tay Diggs, yeah.
On it again. I didn't know why he was there again. I thought she would have had a different guest, but anyway.
Must be something they're trying to do.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they're building up I don't know. Maybe these actors are going to come back every so often, whatever. But
still, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was a better episode. Is it
overall,
perfect?
I'd say. Again, but yeah, it's better. It's better than better than the first. And if things go that route, then the third will be even better. So
Now, I mean, like as an example, if I had to rate the first one out of say 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being crappy, I would have put it somewhere around the lines of like probably a 5 or a 6, right?
The first one.
Yeah.
I'd have said 4.
And then this one, I would give it about a 7.
See, 7. I agree.
Okay. So
hopefully the next one will be 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even 9 if we're lucky.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that this is just it started out a little on the rough side, and as they were trying to get their feet, and this one was a little bit better.
Maybe they just need to get momentum.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that it will get a little bit better each time as it goes. Actually, I'm hoping it gets a lot better, but I'll give it a little. If it just gets a little bit better each time until it gets more and more, then I'm okay. So I just hope they don't do the stupid thing and only give us like 8 episodes or something stupid for the first season, because
you never know.
I will drive down to Walt Disney and slap the shit out of Bob Iger.
Hey.
Seriously, stop with this 8-episode crap. Give us a friggin' full season of something, for Christ's sakes. 26 episodes.
They don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, well, they need to get back to doing it.
Yeah, I agree, baloney. But, what are we, dude?
I know. I say that, and I only did I did 20 episodes for my first season of this, so
that's right.
Hey,
if he can do 20, you can do 26.
That's right.
That's right. You tell him, Saw.
Fuck. I got something for you, but I'm going to keep my pants zipped up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's just 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever. That's not a season. That's just...
That's
anyway,
a taste.
It's a taste, exactly.
That's right, and leaves you hungry.
Like at the end of Picard, it was 10 episodes, and I was still craving more.
Me
because
too.
They didn't do enough.
I know.
And they rushed it through. Anyway. But Muppets Now, yeah, I thought like you said, the game show was funny.
Yep.
Pepe just making it up as he went along.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Swedish Chef, and what was Buddy's name?
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, yeah. And what cooking show is he on?
He wasn't on a cooking show. He's just a very, very... He's an actor that plays...
Well, I know. I've seen him in different things, but that's because
he was in
two chefs.
He was in,
I'm just wondering why they picked him.
What was that motorcycle gang?
Sons of Anarchy?
He was in Sons of Anarchy. He was in, all kinds of different shit.
Okay.
Jesus, he was in, what's that?
In Pulp Fiction?
No, he wasn't in Pulp Fiction. He was in... The one with Desperado. What's it called?
He could have been in that.
Yeah, well, I think that's the one, right? Where he.
No, he plays a bad guy in every now and
Oh yeah, he's got that bad guy look, and it's
He
perfect.
does,
He's
yeah,
well
he-
cast for that.
He's well cast for the bad guy. Yeah, he's not the typical boyish, charming, good looks guy that
What
they
was
get for the hero.
it? Was
But he's not a model.
no,
No.
he's definitely like
what's that?
the,
Tarantino did that. Did Tarantino do Desperado or whatever it was?
I don't know.
Where
Anyway.
it was the
Breaking Bad.
I don't remember in Breaking Bad. What was the Tarantino one he was in? Since you got it looked up there.
Anyway,
but look it up
yeah,
and let me know.
So, but I thought that was funny, and then of course like the Bunsen and Beaker, even the Alexa thing or whatever. It
Yeah,
was,
he had his own little
the Beak R.
Beak R, yeah.
Beak R. It was.
Go ahead.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
No.
Oh, yeah, he was in
before
that.
Before that.
But they were.
Okay, well, he wasn't that.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were, here this thing is even as it's burning to death, it's threatening Beaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
El
But-
Mariachi it was the follow up to El Mariachi.
That wasn't Tarantino.
No, the first El Mariachi, but the follow up was Tarantino.
Anyway, it's not important.
And we're getting off topic.
Yeah, it's
but
not important. And then of course it ended with I think Miss Piggy's little skit.
That's right,
again.
exactly.
So, but yeah, the show definitely was better than the first one, like you said. It that could be the particular Muppets they decided to use in it. I don't know, but
It
maybe
worked out
it's,
good.
Maybe it's just because I like those particular Muppets better. Maybe they're not your favorite Muppets, so you didn't find it as funny. Whatever. Let us know what you thought of it.
I was just going to say, whatever we're saying, you guys can always comment
Yeah,
down
definitely
below.
comment.
Let us know what you
you
think.
thought of them, especially the shows. Like if you like the show or you don't like the show.
Yeah, let us know what you think
like,
too.
Are you following Space Force? You're like, no, I watched the first episode and couldn't get through it, or no, the Muppets I'm not into, or whatever. Just be mindful when you reply. Be respectful to everybody else that's commenting.
Yeah, you don't have to be
don't
mean.
be rude. You can disagree, and you can have a discussion on why you
We
don't
can
like
all
something.
agree to disagree, and we can just
Exactly,
make
without
it.
being an ass,
we're all
so-
people, and we all just let's be nice about it.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
don't be asses to each other, because I won't tolerate anybody being an ass
We
to
don't
anybody
do it.
else.
We don't do it with each other. we
We'll-
don't do it with you.
and we will delete comments if you are an asshole
yeah,
to
if
someone.
you're going to be an ass,
so
I'd
if
say
you come off as being rude to somebody or whatever, your comment will be deleted.
that's right. So
if you're
screw
going to
you.
leave a comment, leave a nice one, and be
And if you disagree,
just be respectful.
that's
I
all.
guess,
Nobody's going to say just because if you disagree, you're going to get
That's right.
commented. You're allowed to disagree. That's what
That's
this
right.
is about.
Everybody's different.
It's about
so.
back and forth.
That's right.
But you
and
don't
you
have
might
to
have
do
a
it.
point that someone may not have thought of when they liked it, and be like, "Gee,
That's
you're
right.
right."
Exactly. So
and they might have
feel
a point
free.
that open-minded discussions are
Hold
always
on a
good.
second. Go ahead, Marky G.
So the movie after El Mariachi is Desperado.
Desperado. Yeah.
Well, you said that.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Nah, that was the third. Once upon a time. Thank you.
So anyway,
He's so good.
yeah.
We're
So,
going to
I mean,
keep
it was
him around a little longer.
a little while longer.
Okay.
A little
You
while
know,
longer.
you wanted to fire him, but
I didn't want to fire him. I wanted to fire you. He's useful.
please fire me. Let me get the hell out of here.
Frig. You and Stinky ass can go.
That's good. Perfect. We're fucking gone. See ya.
You can bring back Ike in here though. He
That's
can
right.
stay,
Ike can
because
stay,
he
yeah.
doesn't leave farts.
No.
But yeah,
Told
no,
you we have fun.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And I mean, all the shows so far have been pretty good. I think. If you follow them and you get to, I mean, they're not perfect like we said, but
They're good.
they are half decent.
All right. Next.
Well, that brings us to the second episode of Transformers. So now you watched the first one, and I know what you thought of that. So
I'm
the
still
second
not.
one,
I'm still not there.
the voices leave a lot to be desired. The acting,
I'm still having a very hard time to get through it. I'm sorry.
The acting, the voice acting is just, I have to say, is god awful. It really is god awful.
I'll be honest with you. I got only halfway through it, and I turned it off. I didn't watch the whole thing. I got I tried to get through, honestly. I mean, I'm sorry, but I tried to get through. I got halfway there.
That's work. You're not allowed to skip out early on work.
Well, sorry. I skipped out early on work today or yesterday or whatever it was. I got halfway through it and I just said, you know what? Fuck this. When Saw and I talk about it, I'm just going to have to say, sorry, I can't seem to get through it. I'll win the third one. I'll go through and I'll try again.
Yeah.
But I will not guarantee
the voice acting is atrocious. It really is. There's a couple of characters that are half decently well acted, but
what's your side? Because as far as I'm concerned, I have nothing good so far to say about it.
To be honest,
you're the Transformers freak, so
you're right. I am. But to be honest, aside from the voice acting on the Elita 1 character, and the voice acting they got on whoever they've got doing Wheeljack isn't half bad because he's very similar in the guy's trying to do a very similar kind of voice to what the original one was, so he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Let me nail it down for you. On 10, what do you give it?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, okay. So...
But
you know
I'm really hard on
Transformers. I was just going to say, if he's giving it a 4, like this guy's like me with Elvis and Johnny Cash and whatever, he's fussy. So when he gives it a 4...
fussy.
Yeah. When he gives it a 4, being the fan and being the way he is, you know something's wrong.
To give you guys a little bit of a tidbit, I'm such a Transformers nut. I collect them.
Oh, yeah.
I have every show on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen every episode of every show more than once.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen every movie. And I've been to...
You know your shit.
I've been to multiple conventions. I've read every comic book they've ever written.
Yep.
There is nothing I do not know about Transformers. Nothing. And I would be damned if you could stump me.
He knows his shit.
But...
I can attest to that.
I will say this show... Overall, the concept I liked. Like when I look at the 6 episodes and I look at the concept in which they're trying to do, I liked it.
But they're fucking it up in the middle.
No, the difference is they don't give, like I said last time when we talked about it, they don't give everybody enough backstory. It's like if you jump into a movie, say you've never seen, I don't know, whatever movie. Let's just pick a movie.
Anything.
Dusk Till Dawn is a great example. Let's use that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Dusk Till Dawn, when you watch it, it starts out kind of, do.
Yeah.
And then it does a complete fucking 180.
That's right, it does.
Because vampires are coming out of the
right,
woodwork and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine you jump into this movie right at the point when the vampires jump out. And you have no idea what the fuck's going on before that. Imagine you turn on that movie. It's the first time you've ever seen it, and that's where you're at.
You have nothing to base anything on.
You have no idea. So what they've done with Transformers Siege...
They've jumped it in at the middle where the bats come out.
They've started this show right at the point where the civil war between the Autobots and the Decepticons is literally at the point where Megatron has offered Optimus Prime a truce,
Yep.
and he's offered him a treaty as long as he gives up. He'll accept his surrender and whatever.
But you don't know the backstory.
But you don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that they're banking on the fact that a lot of people who are going to watch it are probably going to be Transformers fans who already know that.
See, I don't.
But you don't, right? And
it's leaving me holding my dick.
And somebody else is out there like you who is not and is watching it for the first time is going, I don't understand because even if you watch...
Maybe that's why I can't get through it, because I don't understand the story.
And even if you go through all 6 episodes, they still don't explain how they got to that point. And that's what pisses me off. Because at least, like, if you watch the very first Transformers show from 1984, just the Transformers, Generation 1, in the first episode, okay, it starts with a voiceover. And the voiceover explains pretty much what you need to know for where it starts.
They didn't do that here.
No. Okay, so it gives a voiceover, and the voiceover is millions of years ago on the planet Cybertron, life existed, but not life as we know it. Intelligent machines inhabited the cities, and eventually a war broke out between the 2 factions, the Autobots and the Decepticons. And now the Autobots are on the verge of extinction, are fighting valiantly to survive. okay? Because the Decepticons have pretty much wiped them out.
Right.
So you get an idea. Now, I mean, do they tell you the whole story? No, but they give you something, you know? And of
More
course,
than you got out of this one.
and then as the series goes on, there's 3 seasons of this show, 4 technically, and over the course of those 4 seasons, you learn the backstory. You learn it. This is 6 episodes,
And you get shit.
and they do not explain the backstory.
So maybe this is for fans more than newbies like me.
Exactly, I would think so. And in my opinion, what they should be doing is they should explain things like, you should tell people why they're, you know, at this point, or how'd they get to this point, or they didn't even do any flashbacks. They didn't do so. Don't get me wrong.
So as a fan, you enjoy it.
No, even as a fan, I'm not enjoying it
Okay, well that doesn't say much.
because I can't get past the voice acting. It's awful. It's like last week after we were done recording, okay, and Denise
What,
came
this
in.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and Denise came in, and you had said you had watched it with her, and she said it spot on. The voice acting was awful.
Yeah.
There was no acting. There was mumbling, and she was right.
Yeah.
It's like they're talking with marbles in their mouth. They're mumbling at things, and when all you have is an animated something, and then you have a voice to go with that, you have to rely a lot on the voice for the acting.
Right, of course.
Right? Because
Here, Mark.
you have to just, and if the actor isn't really giving it their all, and I'm sorry, I mean, they did 6-ish episodes, they could have spent a ton more money and got voice actors to do it, and everybody knows that. Who knows anything about animated stuff? They could have gotten
But
better.
yeah, please.
Yes, please. They could have gotten more. You know,
Sorry.
they could have gotten more for their buck. They could have
But,
gotten
okay,
some professionals.
Can I interject? May I?
Oh, go
Okay,
right
go ahead.
ahead. Yeah,
I-
I'm tearing it apart.
Okay,
so.
well, no, it's just this is your show. I'm just
No.
the ride along. My question to you is,
Yep.
were they maybe trying to let other not so well known voice actors, maybe they're trying to give other people, because I mean, I'm sure the people that did the voices and did I'm sure Peter Cullen is not exactly, a spring chicken anymore. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's,
You know, and
he's
maybe-
not. But I will say, because somebody did say this online.
Do you know
They
see what
s-
I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
And let me
Okay, good.
refute
Rebuttal,
that one.
rebuttal.
Is they did say, well, Peter's getting old and Frank Welker's, not been as well the last 5 years. There's a video of Frank Welker and Peter Cullen talking about how annoyed they are that they are not doing the voices.
How old's Peter Cullen now?
He's in his 80s.
I was going to say he'd had to be at least 70.
But again, it doesn't matter. He wants to do it. And
Can he still do it?
of course he can. He's Peter Cullen.
No. Okay. I know.
Hey, if the guy wants to do it, let him do it.
Look, okay, I'm going to take you on another. I'm going to go this way, okay? You know who Frank Sinatra is.
Of course.
Okay. Was there a smoother, more whatever than Sinatra at the time? Right? I remember, and then in 71,
Yeah, I know. I see. Just a second.
in 71, he retired. Thanks, Marky G. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Thank you. In 71, he retired. You could have had, there's more of these, isn't there? Oh, okay. He's doing, okay. He retired. Then next year, he came out of retirement and started doing some more stuff.
Okay.
I would say there was a concert. There's a concert somewhere I saw on TV. I don't know. It was like, I'm going to say it was about 6 months or 8 months before he died. And he was
Okay.
doing this concert. I don't know where it was, but I was watching it and I was thinking to myself, dude, you should have pulled the plug a while ago. He didn't have the same voice. He didn't have the same range. He didn't. It was.
Oh no, I get that.
Okay, you know what I mean?
I
and
do.
it's like, fuck, man. Like, are you just doing this for the money, or are you doing this because you don't hear the fact that you've lost it? You're past the point of going like.
Right. So you're saying is he? No, he's not. He's more than capable of still doing the voice.
Okay.
It's the simple fact.
That was my question, because he may think he can still do it, like fucking Frankie did. But if Frankie was
No.
around, I'd have said to him, dude, pull the fucking plug, you idiot.
No. He can still do the voice. It's not that. It's just that, they were trying to cut corners somewhere, and they did it in the voice talent, because there's not one person on the voice cast, not one, that is well known.
But everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah, well, don't start with Transformers, because you don't fucking belong there. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's okay.
Start with fucking My Little Pony or some shit and get your voice first. God, don't start with something as good as Transformers and then ruin it with your goddamn shitty voices. Because that's all it is terrible voice acting. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Again, aside from the two I mentioned, Wheeljack and Alita 1, the rest are friggin' crap. And they used a lot of the same voices they used in the last 3 shows they did, and they were garbage. Then, they're garbage now.
Okay.
And it's just...
Well, look, you're the expert when it comes to Transformers, and I won't argue the point, because I know you know your shit. So,
I mean, I'm not saying they have to go back and get the cast from, the original Transformers series. I mean, most of them are dead. But, I mean, there have been lots of voice actors who've done Transformers over the years and have done a decent job. And they've done a far better job than the clowns they have doing it now.
okay.
So, I'm sorry. Like,
No, that's
most of the people they got, like I said, were from the last 3 series they did, which was the Prime Wars trilogy, and those people are mostly from friggin' YouTube. And I'm sorry, most YouTube people have no voice acting skills at all. So, like the guy who's trying to do Optimus Prime, and I say trying because he's obviously trying to copy Peter Cullen.
Well, is
But
that
you
who
re-
you're supposed to copy?
But you remember how when we said about the Muppets, about how every time they try to copy Kermit, doing Jim Henson's version
Yeah,
of Kermit,
yeah,
it just
yeah.
gets worse?
Yeah.
It's the same idea. Don't try to copy Peter Cullen. You're not Peter Cullen. You never will be.
No.
Don't friggin' try to copy him.
No.
Give him a different voice. If you're going to go that far, just give him a different voice, because at that point, you're trying to copy something
That in
you
itself is
cannot
going to be
do.
hard to accept, though.
It will be, but you know what? It's easier to accept a new voice because they did it with Gary Chalk when he took over as Optimus Prime for 3 series.
So it's easier to accept a new voice than somebody else fucking up the old one.
Yes, Neil Kaplan did Optimus Prime's voice in 2000 when he did 2000's Robots in Disguise cartoon. So I mean, it's not that
Was
I'm
it
not-
good?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think he did
All right.
fine.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not willing to accept a new voice for Optimus Prime. Just don't try to copy Peter Cullen and then sound terrible doing it.
Yeah.
Like anybody who heard that in the recording studio, the voice director, whoever the voice director is, should have literally looked and went, God, no, stop, don't do that. Do your own thing, because you're trying to copy Peter and you're not doing it,
Yeah.
right? It's like the guy who's trying to do Starscream's voice. You're never going to be Chris Latta. Don't even try to be. Don't even try to be. Just give Starscream a new voice. Do something different with the character. Don't try to copy something you can't do. And like Soundwave sounds like a bad recording. Rather than them taking Frank Welker as an example and then putting it through the synthesizer the way they did and giving us the iconic Soundwave voice, they gave us this garbage one. And it's just, it's horrible. Everything about what they're doing is bad. So, at least in the voice acting. The animation is great. I have no problem with the animation because it's like a CG animated show. It's
Okay. So
The
at least you're
animation
giving
is
that
fine.
good. Okay. All right.
the animation is fine. The overall story is a good idea. There's a lot of nods to the originals in it, which I think is interesting. It's the voice acting that I just...
It really grinds your gears.
Well, it's not that it grinds. It just drags the whole show so far down, it makes it hard to enjoy. And maybe that is what part of what you're finding difficult to get through, is they don't explain a whole lot about the story. And at the same time, the acting is so bad, it's hard to get through. Even as a fan, it's hard to get through.
Well, maybe that's what it is.
Right?
Maybe. I don't know. But I just know I'm having a hard time to get through it.
I'm gonna loan you a different Transformers series just to see how
I react to it.
how you react to something different.
Give it to me and let me watch it.
With a better voice cast.
Okay, do that. Give it to me and let me watch it.
And they'll actually be... The one I'm going to give you is the same one animated by this exact same studio that's done this one.
Okay.
They've animated this one. They animated the one I'm going to give you. But the voice acting on the one I'm going to give you is a million times better.
Okay.
Let's just
give it to
see
me and
what
let
you
me see
think.
what happens. Okay, done.
Okay.
Done. Let me watch it and let me see what happens.
There we go. So we'll
and
try
I'll let
that.
you guys know next week how it works.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And you guys, tell us what you think down below. Did you enjoy it? Did you?
If you're liking the show, tell us, please. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
said, tell us what you like about it. I mean, I like pretty much everything about the show except the voice acting. Really, I do. The voice acting is what kills it for me. It's so hard to get through. Well, that and they've made some of the characters different from how they used to be, which is hit or miss with me, but whatever. Some of those things I can accept because they're different.
Okay.
So,
All
you
right.
know. But yeah, the voice is what does it for me. So anyway, that said,
There we go.
you can see some of the images that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
everything is
behind us.
all talking all behind
And
us
if
there,
you
so.
like this concept, let us know, because this was an idea that we had for season 2 that I want. Now, one thing I do want to mention, and I am so sorry, everybody, I forgot to talk about it last week, is I had said at the end of the show I was going to give us a little Orville tidbit,
You did.
and I didn't. So I
Give it now.
apologize. So, there is a rumor going around that the Orville has been canceled after
Please.
season 3. Now, I don't believe the rumor, because the Orville is one of several shows getting subsidies from the California government for filming in California. And it's one of those shows. There's My Buddy Ikers.
There's Iker, yeah.
Mr. Non-Stinkers. And
Hi, Iker. Oh, he wants to see you. Okay.
it's a great show. Seth MacFarlane has said that about half of season 3 was filmed before the shutdown with COVID. So season 3 will be coming back. There's a rumor going around that it's going to be its last. I don't believe the rumor. I would advise everybody out there not to believe the rumor.
You don't think so?
I don't believe it'll be true. No. I honestly think this show's got a long life ahead of it once they get back to normal.
It's a great show, and I
It's a
don't
great
see why
show,
they would.
And it's like Next Generation done comedy style, which is funny. You want to grab the dog? He's going to knock the light over.
Oh, Marky G's got it. Okay.
So yeah, it's that's
I
that's
hope
a little
they don't-
tidbit is that I heard is that it's possibly going to be canceled. I hope it isn't.
I hope so.
And I don't believe the rumor myself, but I just thought I'd throw it out there and let you guys
Okay.
know.
Let us know if you heard anything.
But when the Orville does come back, we will be talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. Probably won't be till season 3 of this show, though, because
The way it's going, yeah.
the way things are going.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, we'll get there, though.
but we will get there. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll catch you guys next week right here on Let's Talk with the Saw on Superlative Radio.
Catch you later, guys.